themselves to the devotees of the Lord, and they humble themselves, and that is the key for opening the spiritual gates, humility. So we talked about that. We asked what should be our mood when we go to participate in group puja. You can mute. You should mute both of you to mute. It's okay. Back it's okay. You should mute. Back Felicia, mute. We say when you go to Srila Prabhupada, your mood for participating in group puja should be the mood of gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, mood of respect, and then we told you to study the direct literary translation of the Guru Puja song. It is loaded. And we should be in the mood of seeking Krishna's mercy through Srila Prabhupada. That should be our mood. Seeking Krishna's mercy through Srila Prabhupada. So our heart should be very open, humble, respectful, submissive. We should be meek. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada has the power to deliver us to Krishna. And also, worshiping Srila Prabhupada in the right mood will strengthen our faith in both Guru and Krishna. And then we ask, what are the regular benefits of Guru Puja? I will say, go back and read the translation of the Guru Puja song. That the pure devotee or the spiritual master is the only way to attain pure devotional service. And it is by his grace that we can cross over the ocean of material sufferings and also obtain the mercy of Krishna. And also, our consciousness gets purified by his words and by service to him. That attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. If you want all your desires to be fulfilled, then please the spiritual master. Because from him also ecstatic pure love comes. And by him, ignorance is destroyed. And that is why the scriptures glorify his character. Then we said there are two principles that we should have. Every devotee must be very, conversant with. One of the principles is attention, and the other one is submission. We should be attentive to the spiritual masters. We should be attentive to the deities. We should be submissive to the spiritual master. We should be submissive to the service of the deities. We should be attentive to the scriptures. We should be submissive to the scriptures. And we should be attentive to Srimad Bhagavatam and be submissive. Also be attentive to the holy name and to all the components of devotional service. Attention and submission is needed. And that if we are attentive and submissive in all our dealings, spiritual dealings, in chanting, in studying, in deity worship, in Guru Puja, in our daily devotional services, that if we are attentive and submissive, we can easily get unity and discipline. So our mood should be reverential attitude to the spiritual master, because it is from the spiritual master we have gotten our connection to Krishna. So we have to be very, very submissive and respectful to him. And we also said that, yes, if we do that, if we are submissive to the spiritual master and the Guru, and to the scripture, and to the holy name, and to devotional activities, if we are attentive in all our dealings, what will be our benefits? And we say we get abundant mercy from Srila Prabhupada. And if we say we get abundant mercy from Srila Prabhupada, how do we know that we have gotten abundant mercy? We are getting mercy from Srila Prabhupada. We say, one, our taste for hearing about Krishna or Vasudeva Kata Rushi will increase. So when your taste for hearing about Krishna is increasing, you should know that you are getting the mercy, abundant mercy from the spiritual master. And you are getting this mercy because of your reverential, submissive attitude to everything devotional. And that you will attain satisfaction. Your satisfaction will increase. So your hankering will reduce, your lamentation will reduce. Then if you are getting abundant mercy of the spiritual master, your services will increase. You will get more services and you will get more opportunities. You will get resources also, more resources and more guidance. Then if truly you are getting abundant mercy from the spiritual master, then you will attain more peace of mind. And you will also become free from offenses to devotees, offenses to the process of devotional service, and of general offenses, anantas. You become free from anantas. You appreciate devotees more, and you develop a taste, a higher taste. You want to abandon, naturally forget about the lower taste. Lower taste will be replaced with higher taste. And you will get less obstacles on the part of your devotion. And even if obstacles come, you will no longer see them as obstacles, but you will see them as opportunity for intensifying your own devotional service. Opportunity for you to take more shelter of Krishna. And you will lose hope. You will lose taste in unholy association. Naturally, you will not like to associate with drunkards again, with womanizers, with gamblers. You lose unholy association. And your quality of services will be more quality everywhere, every time. We said all that. Then we say, what are some more benefits for doing regular group puja? And we say the temple will be boosted. Devotees will have more enthusiasm. And devotees will have more determination to do devotional service. And our ignorance will actually be destroyed. And we will feel that, yes, we can cross the ocean of material existence. And we can truly obtain the mercy of Krishna. And our consciousness will surely get purified. And all our desires will get fulfilled. And eventually we attain pure love of God. And we get the mercy of Krishna. Then we say, okay, we should read in the handbook the pranam mantras. That one is if you are a new devotee, you should chant Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantra. And if you are an old devotee also, who is initiated, you chant your Guru's mantra, and you should add Prabhupada's mantra to it. And similar things like that. All other readings, all other additional quotes, we read them. Then lastly, we said every devotee should write Vyasa Puja offerings to Srila Prabhupada. Every devotee, at least once in a year, should write Vyasa Puja offering to Srila Prabhupada. And how should we write the Vyasa Puja offering? So we should first express our insignificance and inability. We should present ourselves as people who are very tiny, who do not know anything. That is how we should project ourselves. Then we should express gratitude for specific and general gifts given by the spiritual master. The things you have attained by the mercy of the spiritual master, you should express them. What you appreciate about what the Prabhupada has done for you, you express it. Then you glorify the mood of the spiritual master and also his pastimes. Some of the pastimes he had that are not ordinary, that inspired you. You talk about it. Then you should report your services. Oh, Gurudev, by your mercy, this is the type of service I'm doing. This on this day of appearance, I would like to intensify my focus. I would like to do it with more intensity. That you bless me so that I'm able to serve you, with pinpointedness. Then we should pray for his mercy, beg for his forgiveness for any offenses we have committed in the course of our services, offenses to devotees also. Then we should use the opportunity to reaffirm our vows to Srila Prabhupada. And we should take some commitments and reaffirm our commitments to serve humanity for the rest of our life. Just as we have gotten the mercy of the Guru, we also give the opportunity for others to get the mercy. So we become viable instruments in the hand of the spiritual master. We should write to show commitment like that. The state of mind we should express. Then we should request specific benedictions to increase our services and express the relationship we want to establish with Krishna. And in this way, we ended the class. And now we are in lesson 9, Guru Seva. Guru Seva is three-dimensional. First, we talk the qualification of a disciple, because we have been talking qualification of a guru, qualification of a guru, qualification of a guru. What are some qualifications that are expected of a disciple? We have to meditate on that. Then Guru Seva, service to the Guru, service to ISKCON, then meeting obligation in a balanced manner. And that simply means there are so many obligations. Personal obligations are there. Educational obligations are there. Social obligations are there. And all kinds of obligation to your parents, obligation to your children, obligation to your boss in the school, in the workplace, and obligation to taking good care of your health and the health of your dependents. So many obligations. And you also have spiritual obligation to whereby you're going to want to commit yourself more. You want to chant 16 rounds. You have to follow 4 regulatory principles. So how do you balance these obligations? How do you maintain a balance? How do you maintain equilibrium? Without overemphasizing on one and neglecting the other. Because all need to be attended to. The soul is in the body. And there are bodily needs, there are psychological needs, there are emotional needs, and there are spiritual needs. So all these needs need to be addressed. So how do you strike a balance? How do you employ Pareto efficiency? How do you satisfy one obligation without neglecting another? So we're going to deliberate in this direction. And we say, yes, Sevaya. Just like if you purchase something, you must pay for it. Therefore, it is called Sevaya. You cannot pay by returning the value which is taught by the spiritual master. That is not possible. Therefore, it is called Sevaya. Dedicate your life for a service. You cannot pay what you have got to pay to a spiritual master. So this is telling you that the services, the benefits you get from the spiritual master are materially invaluable. You cannot pay for it. You can only show gratitude. Say, I'm grateful for what you have done for me. And the best way to show gratitude is through service. Look for ways to serve the spiritual master. So that is about that. Now, what are some ways we can serve the spiritual master? Because to serve the spiritual master, that is where our connection is. Sometimes some gurus used to say, a devotee without service has no protection from the spiritual master. If you are a devotee and you have no specific service, you have no protection. That means your protection comes from your service to the guru. If you are serving the guru, that is where the energy is churned out, the protective energy is generated from that contact, service to the guru. So a devotee without service has no protection. So in what ways can we serve our guru or spiritual master? I want to hear from you. The first thing that comes to your mind, just say, in what ways can we serve our spiritual master? We are only three, so if all of you are off the video, then it's demotivating, demoralizing, of course. Despite all the efforts we are making to put this message across, you are showing that you are not gaining something from these courses. You are not gaining something from the courses, so it is not important thing for you to dedicate your time and energy to. It's like a waste of time. So, Prabhujis, we have only two of you left now. The first two people that came have gone. Now it remains two people. Okay. If that is the case, I'm going to start rushing. I'm going to start rushing the topic now. I will rush it to the end and close. That's what I'm going to do. If the attitude is not improved, me too, I will consider it like a waste of time. We are asking simply, how can we serve our spiritual master? Yes, Dr. Paul. Isaac.
Please, but Isaac. Please, my video is off because I went someplace and I'm walking on the streets. That's why my video is off.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Answer, contribute. In what ways can we serve our guru?
That's what. Prabhu, please come again.
In what ways can we serve our guru? In what ways can you serve your guru, your spiritual master? What are the ways you can serve your spiritual master? Oh, okay. You are muted. You are muted. We are not hearing you. Unmute first.
Taking medications, I would join in a minute. I'll turn on my video in a minute. Please.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sorry, well. But in Atta, in what ways can you serve your spiritual master? I'm waiting to get a response from you. I will wait until when you respond. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So nobody is there for me to talk with, and I'm talking. You people are deceiving me that you are there. I cannot be talking if somebody is not there. And I will not take this topic again. Hare Krishna, can we close the class for today? Can we close the class for today because students are not ready? I'm not idle leader. I can use my time for other things. Any day when you people are ready, you should call me, then we'll come and continue. But by this, I'm not motivated to continue. But Isaac,
Prabhu.
it's like I have to cancel the class. Oh. I have
Oh,
to
Prabhu,
cancel
we
the
get
class.
the question you asked is just like I forgot to. That's why I'm quiet too.
No, this is not
Because
something that you want to
I was planning to come early and do some revision small before the class starts, but time did not permit me. That's why I'm late. Because the place where we went and went today, we are just pressed up. That's why.
You see, Dr. Paul is not attending class again also. Dr. Paul is not attending class again. And
Last class, he was there.
only you and Bakhtin Atta are here, but Bakhtin Atta is actually not there in the class. So only you are in the class, and we cannot continue like this. So
That one is true because
I want to suggest that we stop today's class.
probably we should wait more. Maybe they will join soon.
Now, more than 1 hour. Almost 1 hour is 7:19. Almost 1 hour. Almost 1 hour, and only 2 of you are there. I don't want you to talk because what I'm talking is not nonsense. It's something that should be listened to by human beings, otherwise I keep it. So I want to suggest that
I don't know
we
why
should
they have not come.
we should proceed to this class. I'm suggesting that we postpone today's class because I'm highly disappointed by the attendance.
Bible, please, they are coming small.
What is that? Hey.
Mail.
But it's okay. Welcome.
Do we cancel?
Bible says
No.
this class.
No, because I mean, it's demoralizing. It's demoralizing. Students are not ready, so I'm forcing them. You have nothing to do, so I'm forcing the people, and the people are not ready. How can you teach progressive?
From store. Come. Okay.
Delhi.
I want to suggest that we this class.
So, please continue.
My mood is spoiled. I feel like I'm wasting time. I can utilize the time for something else. I have class tomorrow. I have class tomorrow. It's like this.
Are you Papa say mini class? Musum person just more class.
Bible, please
So
continue. We are here with you.
Abu, are here. You said I'm not in class. I'm in class, oh, but Babu called me. Yeah. You mock mommy. I didn't.
Who are you?
That's why I was there. But Prabhu called me. We are doing program. He called me to bring something. That's why I left. Okay. So please don't be annoyed. I beg you. I'm in class, please. Okay. I beg you. I'm in class. Prabhu called me. He said, "See, me making a now come here, better video. Eh, bon way you. I'm in fact with him question. Krishna, me pesa me video channel me and yeah channel me say. Hurry up. Pechem video.
Adeni.
And you're not Christian na hoka out.
Bible, please continue.
Yeah. David me casa me
It's not
person.
easy. Teaching matters is not something.
Prabhu Prima. Nadina Mayigina. Prabhu Prima. See, Prabhu sent me, oh, please. Don't be annoying, please. I beg you, okay? Prabhu, see. He sent me to buy milk. Ayina Kate.
I said, we are in Serbia, we be on the word.
I was also crying. I was with the idea better actually. The infection is going up.
About 9.
Maybe in person, that's what crackers. Oh,
I'm not sure that
I want to tell you that we cancel today's class.
Prabhu Prima.
Trying to be here.
We appreciate that you have sacrificed to be here, but you have to be truly here. So if I ask questions and You don't answer the question. How do I continue?
We don't need to
I'm
do
just
Prabhu, please.
because I want to
Please.
talk.
Okay, please.
Please go ahead.
Okay. He sent me. See, now I'm going to give this one to the Brahma, no, the Pujari. I'm going to give it to him. What are you any free so? Now going there. You video in first time in Papa.
Okay, we take a 10 minutes break. Let's take a 10 minutes break. Everybody do what you want to do for the next 10 minutes, then
Papa, see
we'll
my
continue.
Facebook. I'm here. I'm with you.
Yeah, okay, 5 minutes break. Everybody should do whatever you want to do for 5 minutes, then we'll continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Where did you
Please,
go?
my network just went off. I was trying to join. There's a problem. It was right now that I was trying again and then it came through. I didn't go
Okay,
anywhere.
we are having 5 minutes break. Oh, everybody should
Please,
relax
why?
his mind. Because everybody was going somewhere, everybody went somewhere, and only me was talking, nobody to respond to me. So myself, I'm giving time to myself small now. Make I take
Sorry.
breaths.
I was even, when you were talking, I was even about to tell you I was not hearing any sound. Then all of a sudden my set went off. I left this thing. Please, we are sorry.
Yes, it's true, but a 5 minutes break is okay. 2 minutes is gone already. In 3 minutes
For
time, we'll
you?
continue.
All
Three
right,
minutes
sir.
time, everybody should take a break in 5 minutes. 3 minutes more.
Okay, sir.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, what is going on with you? You have not been attending classes. We don't attend Sanskrit studies classes like this. Epileptically. No, you don't do this. Maybe you may have to wait and continue with us in the next session. I think that's what will be. It's like this session now, you are too busy to be part of the classes. And we can't take it. It will be like cheating to the other students, disrespect to the whole system. So I think you can just drop out of this session. This is my advice. And come to the next session. Hare Krishna. You don't know how to own your data and what? What kind of level of illiteracy is this? What kind of level of illiteracy is this?
Krishna Prabhu, please time
Aribo,
is up.
the 5 minutes, it remains 30 seconds. It remains 30 seconds. If you want to drink water, you can drink water, everybody. If you want to go and urinate, go and urinate. If you want
That's
to go and
all.
chant
Is that all, Prabhu?
there, or if it's Fanta or what you want to drink.
We are done with everything. We're just waiting for you, please.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
There is one student every time he will not be in the class. Immediately after the class, he say, Hare Krishna. He will not be in the class. After the class, we just say, yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. What do you expect? Is that how to attend class? Oh,
No.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I don't need that kind of Hare Krishna. He irritating me. Or witchcraft don't hold him down where he doesn't know his right from his left, that he cannot even attend a course that will relieve him. Okay, so the mood I set for the class is already spoiled, but we can try to do something, and you should take it like that. I was asking, we're saying that service to Guru, service to the spiritual master is the only way we can show some gratitude, because we cannot quantify what the Guru does for us. We cannot quantify. So, but we need to show gratitude to him by endeavoring to serve. And there's no question of calling oneself a devotee if there is no service to the spiritual master. And some gurus even went ahead to say that a devotee without service, specific service to his guru, has no protection, he has no spiritual nourishment. So service is very, very important. So we are asking, in what ways can we serve the spiritual master? That we cannot pay him for whatever we do for us, so that we can serve him and dedicate our time, our life to serve the Guru. So I was asking the students, in what ways can we serve our spiritual master? And I want answers to this question, because we cannot rush it over and go. We have to understand this. These are the key, the nucleus of the whole course. In what ways can we serve our spiritual master? I want you to be responding to this question. Yes, Bhaktinata.
Babu, by chanting and by following his orders.
By chanting regularly and by
By
strictly
obeying his
following,
orders.
yes, obeying the orders.
Of the spiritual
That
master.
is a good one, yes. More ways.
Okay, Srila Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
By doing Guru Puja.
By,
By doing Guru
by,
Puja.
by doing Guru Puja. Okay, that is very good. Which other ways? These questions are very simple, but I want it to come out from you. I want you to participate in the class. By distributing Srila Prabhupada books, you are serving the spiritual master. By strictly following the vows you made in front of him, strictly following the vows, you are serving the spiritual master. You can physically serve him by cooking, washing his clothes, helping the preaching activities, and following his instructions. You can serve the spiritual master also by serving the Vaishnavas, other devotees. And also by being exemplary in your conduct. In whatever you do, you live an example. If you are to follow programs, to follow all the programs exemplarily. And in your personal life, you control your anger, you control your speech, you react to situations with maturity. It's a service to the Guru also. And you can serve you can serve the Gurus by hearing his lectures regularly, by doing very strong sadhana. You can serve him by supporting his projects also. Okay? So these are few ways you can serve the Guru. You can serve him in many ways. But these are few ways you can serve the Guru. Then, what are some ways we can serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada, ISKCON? We can serve ISKCON by distributing books, also Srila Prabhupada books. We can serve ISKCON by cooperating with our God brothers in the service of Krishna. We can serve ISKCON by going out on Harinam Sankirtan. We can serve ISKCON by being exemplary in our conduct. We can serve ISKCON by being a good representative. We can serve ISKCON by doing different services in the temple, given by temple authorities. And we can serve ISKCON by counseling or guiding younger devotees. We can serve ISKCON by deity worship. We can serve by cooking for the deities. We can serve by prasadam distribution of food for life activities. And these are some ways we can serve the mission. So are there questions on this? Then again, can there be some imbalance in serving the guru, spiritual authority, and also serving administrative line of authority? Can there be some imbalance? Guru seva means carrying out the instructions of the guru, but serving the mission here means serving your immediate temple authorities. A situation may arise. Your network is having some issues. We are saying that there can be a conflict between the instructions given by your guru and the kind of services the temple authority will want you to do. How do you harmonize situations if there, in case there is any imbalance? For example, if you are like in a temple where there are few devotees and there is a, for instance, a Ratayatra program somewhere, Ratayatra program in Ghana, and your guru can say, okay, all my disciples will come to this Ratayatra so that you can have opportunity to meet with other disciples from other parts of the world. And you are eager to come. But in your temple, maybe you are the pujari there. If you are somebody working outside, you have no problem. You can just take permission from your workplace and you go for the program. But if you are in a temple where you are few, you lack manpower, and you are, for instance, the pujari, and you are a disciple of that guru, the guru has called for all the disciples to come for association during the Ratayatra festival. And you are few in your temple authority say that, if this pujari goes, how are we going to manage to take care of the deities? His service is crucial. We are not many. So he will want the pujari to stay. Meanwhile, his guru said they should come. How do you harmonize such polarities? The guru wants him to come. You don't want him to go because of manpower shortage. So how do you address such situation if you are such a devotee? If you are the devotee in question, how do you address it? Because you will not want to offend your guru, you will not want to offend your immediate temple authority. How do you address the situation? Your guru wants you to go, your temple authority wants you to stay. Yes, but in Felicia.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Haribo.
If I were to be in those shoes, and I have to talk to my guru so that my guru will talk to the authorities. I mean, where I worship, the authorities there, he will consult them. So if they talked and it will be possible for me to go, then I will. If they say no, then I have to stay and obey their instructions. That's my view.
Okay, that is a good one. That is a good one. you bring the two authorities together. Okay, Bhaktin Atta, what will you do?
Okay, Prabhu, if I'm the one in that shoe, me and my spiritual master said I should come, and my temple president said I should stay because of the deities. To me, I will go to my spiritual master because my spiritual master is the same as Krishna. So if I go, Krishna will pardon me for that. So if it were me, I will go.
Okay. Assuming you go and your temple president say, don't come back here, just stay there. If you go, just stay there. I'll go to other temple. Because I don't want somebody who's going to be disobeying me here.
Prabhu, I'll go because my guru gave me that order that I should come. And you said you shouldn't disobey our guru. So I'll follow my guru's instructions.
Okay, you can go your guru's instruction and you come back, you face the anger of the temple president. Guru will give you strength to face it, have you?
Yes. And Guru is Krishna himself, so everything will be okay.
Okay, that's your opinion. Very nice. That's what it. Please, do you agree with that? What is your opinion? You don't need to agree or disagree. But Isaac. Yeah, what will you do?
Okay, in this situation, I will. Okay, for the first, am I the pujari or I'm just
You are the pujari of your temple. You are the pujari.
I'll explain things to my guru first. That here is the case, they don't want to take care of the cases. So I'll ask my guru to talk to the temple authorities. If they agree, because I can't come in between them. So I have to leave this case for them, the temple authorities and my guru to decide. Maybe the temple authorities can allow me to go, maybe they won't. So I will not disobey my guru or disobey the temple authorities. So I will just consult both of them and leave that part for them to decide. If I'm allowed to come, I'll go. But if I'm not allowed, I'll stay and take care of it.
Okay, that is very nice. After all, the guru himself is a devotee of Krishna. And here you are in the service of Krishna. So if a guru wants to call you to come by force, and he doesn't care whether your temple is or not. Meanwhile, maybe the guru will see him only once in a year. This other temple authority will be guiding you on daily basis. Then the guru comes to give us instruction without consultation with your temple authority. Then you also just carry yourself and go because guru is Krishna, just like Bhaktin Atta. You carry yourself, you yourself, you go. Just leave and go, carry your bag, you don't care what happens. By the time you come back, you will come and see, you will come and meet a very hard face. From that day on, your temple president might not cooperate with you at all. He will not engage you in any serious action again. First, he will remove you from the altar. Because, well, he is daily taking care of your devotional service. Then Guru will just come and give instruction that will make you to disobey him freely. Then it's a bad sign if he successfully disobey you and go free. And he will not want that. So the temple authority might be very, very tough on you until the matter will get to the Guru, and he and the Guru may have to confront themselves. Something will happen. So it is logical, most logical for you to bring the two of them together, just as you said, just as Albert in Felicia also said. You should bring the two of them together. Tell the Guru, give the Guru's contact to your temple authority, give temple authorities contact to the Guru. So let them talk. And whatever they arrive at, whatever the two of them arrive at, then you carry out that instruction. But in that is a better way to approach this matter. You have to harmonize the two polarities.
Yes, Prabhu.
Otherwise, you have problem with your temple, with the immediate temple president, and you can't have peace of mind to do devotional service. And the guru will
Yes,
not be
Prabhu.
pleased when he start hearing bad reports about you, that you are very whimsical, you are disobedient, you don't follow instructions, you don't respect your immediate authority. Your guru will turn back and start chastising you. And if you are not
Prabhu.
careful, you begin to commit guru apparat. Is it not him that told me to come? And I obeyed him now. He's not chastising him. Even this guru self, is he a pure devotee? You begin to commit offenses. So the best way is to bring the two of them together. And whatever they decide, you now follow that instruction. Okay? In fact, it is
Yes, Prabhu.
even the guru, to be on the safe side, he first supposed to consult with the temple president. If you want any of his disciples to come to a particular program, he has to consult with the temple authority. Then the temple authority and him will now, talk. Then they come to one conclusion. In this way, there will be unity of command. But if that is not done, and the thing comes to you like that, you have to bring the two of them together. Let them come together and decide. This is how to solve conflicting situations. You harmonize. Okay?
Okay, Prabhu.
Yes. And by the same token, we are saying that this time not only guru and temple president, but on a larger scale, you are working, you have a boss. You are not an independent person. You have a boss. And the boss expects you to be in your office at regular time. If it is 8 o'clock, you must be there 8 o'clock every day. And then you have obligations to your wife and children. Your children have to go to school, and in the house, you have to do some work to support the wife, and the wife supports, then both of you see that the children have gone to school before you become free to do certain things. Then not only that, you have the responsible obligation to attend to their health. Maybe your parents are elderly, they need some service from you also. At the same time, you have your spiritual obligation, your sadhana. You need to wake daily early to chant your 16 rounds. You see? So how do you harmonize these situations? Because the principles should be that you cannot neglect any of them. You have to do all your obligations, social obligations. You have to take care. Cultural obligations, you have to take care. Financial obligations, you have to meet them. Spiritual obligations, you have to meet them. So when there is conflict of obligations, when obligations clash, when they engage in different obligations, engage in what do they call this wrestling program, whereby there's a wrestling program where they bring so many wrestlers, then they start eliminating themselves. It remains only two, or remain only one as a champion. I've forgotten the name they call it. So if there is a clash of obligations, how do you solve it? How do you harmonize? Because you must do everything. You should not neglect. And that's why we give the principle of Pareto efficiency. Pareto efficiency states that allocations, resources should be allocated in such a way that you don't make one person happier and another person sad. Allocation is said to be Pareto efficient when it will not make one person happier and another person sad. That means it should be done in a way that all parties should be happy. So, how do you solve this conflict? These are practical lessons in IDC. You have obligation to your guru, you have obligation to ISKCON, you have obligation to yourself, you have obligation to your household, responsibilities, your wife, your children, your work, your job, and you have obligation to taking care of your health. There are social obligations. You have to attend some funeral ceremonies and so many things. So if there is a clash, how do you manage your time? So anyway, the first solution is to prioritize. First, you categorize. You categorize these activities. Categorize all these activities, list them. List the activities in a scale of preference. Which one, if I neglect it, will not affect all the other ones? And which one of the obligations, if I neglect it, if I implement it, it will affect all others positively? So you first have to look at that. Then what sacrifices will I need to make in order to implement that particular obligation? It's a very serious matter. Because of all the obligations, there are some that if you neglect them, everything will go bad. And if you do them, every other thing will fall into balance. So you have to identify those particular obligations in order of preference. You make a list of the obligations in order of preference. Then you tackle them accordingly. You allocate time. Between this time and this time, I will do this. Between this time and that time, I will do this. Between this time and that time, I will do this. So in this way, you can do all of them. You do the most important ones. And there will be opportunity cost also. Some alternatives can be forgone. So that if you do the most important ones, they will be taken care of automatically. Like if you hold the head of a rope, of a snake, you just catch the head of the snake. The rest of the body is like rope. So there are some obligations that are serious, like your sadhana, spiritual sadhana, for instance. But you cannot do sadhana and neglect other obligations. So in other words, first you have to manage your time in a way that you can take rest early and wake up earlier. You have to gain some time at the early hour of the day. For you to sleep early, you have to minimize your attachment to watching some TV programs. You have to reduce your affinity for watching certain television programs. You will gain some time. You can sleep early, be strict with your timing so that you can take rest early and wake early. Then you do what is needed on time. See, that is how to go about it. Your allocation should be Pareto efficient. You should prioritize, be clear. You should know what is your role, what are the goals, what are the responsibilities. what is the time needed for each responsibility. Then you make a priority list and you follow accordingly. In that way, some people make weekly schedule. They make weekly schedule, they follow it very strictly. Then whatever else that falls out, they will know how to manage it. Okay. So we learn how to harmonize these polarities without creating further dissension, further disharmony, and in Pareto efficiency. Solve it in a way that you don't create more dissension, more disharmony. That means you should be able to know which one is the most important. You do it first, the other one follows. That you need to gain some time, so you regulate. Self-control is needed. Self-control is needed. Some of the things that you can do without, that you have been doing, you should close those chapters and gain some time. That extra time you utilize it in the positive direction to attend to some other obligations. So this way, you can allocate your resources efficiently. This is called allocative efficiency in economics. Allocative efficiency. And such allocation must be Pareto efficient. And allocation is Pareto efficient when it does not make one person happier and the other person sad. So harmonize, make schedule, follow it up. After all, say those who fail to plan, they're planning to fail. Okay, so if you have the student handbook, we should read from page 47. First, don't forget, we said to harmonize obligations, you have to prioritize. Then you make weekly schedule and you save time, cut short some of the unnecessary, avoidable programs you are involving yourselves in, including reducing your television watching hours. Okay, page 47. Duty of disciple to carry out order. So somebody should read.
The devotee of Lord Chaitanya must preach Krishna consciousness in every village and town in the world. That will satisfy the Lord. It is not that one should act whimsically for his own personal satisfaction. This order comes down through the paramparam system, and the spiritual master presents these orders to the disciples so that he can spread the message of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is the duty of every disciple to carry out the order of the bona fide spiritual master and spread Lord Chaitanya's message all over the world.
Okay. So, as an aspiring devotee, you should put some time into it. How to constantly think of how to carry out the order of Lord Chaitanya, how to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. And if you see such a program for spreading Krishna consciousness, participate in it. That will be one of the seed activities. In addition to your sadhana, daily sadhana of chanting your 16 rounds, following regulatory principles. then other things will fall in place. You will gain time. You avoid gambling, avoid intoxication, avoid unholy association. You will gain time. You wake up 1 hour earlier than before. All that 1 hour is again, you have to utilize it in activities that actually cannot be given up. So in this way, you save time and you do the core activities. Then other things will fall in place automatically. It's a mystical formula. If you invest your time in activities of Krishna consciousness, it's a mystical formula. All other things, external things, will start falling in place automatically. Try it. Try it and you will see. But it's okay. Your mind is heavy. You have to read. You have to read. Read plenty. Oh yeah. Start reading. Withdraw your mind from all those things that you are thinking of.
So what did I should read?
Read page 48. Starting from the top. Start with the Pranipati. Read the Sanskrit also.
Okay, Prabhu. Guru Seva. Tadvidi Pranipatena Pariprasena Sevaya. Upadeshyanti Janam Janinam Tatwa Datina. Just try to learn the truth that which is spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender. I want to serve the spiritual master like a mere servant, without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. If there is no suffering, then it is no advancement. Our moment is that beginning of spiritual life is to surrender. If there is no suffering, then it is no advance. Savadan man Parityagya ma ekam saranam vraja. Bhagavad Gita 18. This is the beginning. If that thing is lacking, there is no beginning even. What to speak of advancement? That is the course already. No hidden sa abapnoti na sutam na param gati. This is the beginning of spiritual life. The word is called disciple. Disciple means who accepts discipline. If there is no discipline, where is disciple? Room conversation, July 10th,
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Arimo, it's okay. Stop now. Stop. Is there any question or commentaries on any of these points there? It is recommended that we should try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. And in that approach, you should inquire submissively and render service unto him. Then the self-realized soul will impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. That such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender. And one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Why? Because satisfaction of the spiritual self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Any question on that? Yeah, carry on. Okay.
Krishna Prabhu.
Haribo.
Please, my question is, as you were saying earlier, if this time around, maybe I'm not, it's not about temple, it's not about the temple, it's about me and my guru, my spiritual master. Let's say I'm working in a company and my guru calls that all disciples should come. And in this case, the company that I'm working with, they don't understand any, like, they will not give you any permission to leave the work and go and do any other thing. And my guru school needs me or needs all the disciples to come. If I leave and go to my guru, I'll be back. I'll be back, and maybe I'll be sacked from work. And if I stay too, I've disobeyed my guru. So in this case, should I go and be sacked or I should stay?
Okay.
Because I'm not ready to disobey my guru too, and I don't want to lose the job. So what do I do?
Yeah, it is simple. It is simple. You let your guru know that you are working like this. You have to communicate with your guru. Explain your situation to him. And the guru will not say you abandon your work. He can only tell you to try to take permission, and if you are lucky and they approve, if they give you some leave, then you can take advantage of that timing and go and come. If it is a weekend program, you can take permission on Friday. You go for the program, participate on Saturday and Sunday, and be back to work on Monday. if you try to take permission to leave on Friday and your company agree, you go. If they don't agree, what can you do? You have to explain to your guru and try to get all the audio recordings of their discussions, arrange with them so that you can get it and connect from there. Or if they can make it online also. If they can make the program, bring it online so that people who are far away can also benefit. Then you can take advantage of that. But we cannot advise you to leave your work and go because Guru has said. You just explain to Guru how the time conflicts with your work. The Guru will understand. Understand? The Guru will understand.
Okay.
He will permit you to stay in your work. But he will now tell you alternative way how to get the message. Whatever has been discussed, get it recorded, arrange with somebody to record it so that you can listen and participate. Or better still, they should make it online. There is no program they do now that they don't make online connection. You can join.
Okay.
You can join while in your house, even while in your office. If it becomes too critical, you can off your video and put your earpiece and be listening. Any slight opportunity, you ask questions to let them know that you understand what is going on. So in this way,
Okay.
somehow or the other, you participate. So why? Because the solutions will be Pareto efficient, meaning it should not make one person happy and another person sad.
Okay.
Yeah, you should not make your boss sad while trying to make your guru happy. And you should not displease your guru because you want to make your boss happy. So it has to be Pareto efficient. Yeah, and this is what is in allocative efficiency. In allocative efficiency in economics, the resources are not enough, and the demand is higher than the supply. So you have to allocate the resources in a way that it doesn't make one person sad and another person happy. Just like that, you have to follow a middle path. But there's one principle also in management. It is called the 80-20 principle. 80-20 principle. So that one states that 80% of your business is done with 20% of your customers. So it becomes logical for you to allocate 80% of your time to that 20% of customers. If you are able to satisfy that 20%, you will get more than 80% efficiency. So you have to identify the most important things that when done, automatically they will cover some of the less important ones. But if you go start from the less important ones, leaving the main ones, you will just lose out, hopefully. So you have to do well by identifying the most important thing. You prioritize. You prioritize that this 1, 2, 3, 4, if I do them, automatically the other ones will be taken care of. Then you start from there. So some applicative situational analysis is needed so that you can get maximum results. Don't displease your master, don't displease your spiritual master. But yes, try to explain to your spiritual master what the situation is so that you will not say you are whimsical. But at the same time, if there's a Zoom connection, take advantage of it.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone else with the student handbook?
Yes, please.
Okay, you should read from the third and the second one. One must strictly try to execute the order.
Okay, sir. The principle of very rigidly carrying out the order of the spiritual master must be observed. The spiritual master gives different orders to different people. For example, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami to preach, and he ordered Raghunandha Dasa Goswami to strictly follow the rules and regulations of the renounced order. All 6 Goswamis strictly followed the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the principle for progress in devotional service. After receiving an order from the spiritual master, one must strictly try to execute the order. This is the way of success. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So that is the way of success. When you receive instructions from the spiritual master, you must try to follow it very strictly. That is the way of success in spiritual life. Okay. So, is there any reason why the spiritual master's order cannot be followed? That means sometimes the spiritual master gives an order and we are unable to carry it out immediately. So what to do? What do we do in such a situation? Because if the external circumstances are not favorable enough to immediately implement the order, what do you do? Should you neglect the order, or what do you do? Okay, the principle is that the spiritual master's order cannot be disobeyed, but it can be delayed. The spiritual master's order can be delayed. Carrying it out can be delayed, but it cannot be disobeyed or neglected. So what happens if the external environmental forces are not favorable at that time to implement a particular order? What do you do? For instance, Srila Prabhupada, for instance, received the order from his spiritual master that he should go to the West and preach in English. And if he ever has money, he should print books. These are the two instructions his spiritual master gave to him. But the spiritual master gave these instructions to him in 1922. In 1922, the spiritual master gave these instructions to Srila Prabhupada. Go to the West and preach in English. 2, if you ever have money, print books. He gave this order in 1922, but Srila Prabhupada implemented it in 1966. A difference of 44 years. 44 years. Srila Prabhupada could not implement this order successfully. But after 44 years, he was able to implement it. So in other words, in between 1922 and 1966, what was Srila Prabhupada doing? Differently said, in between the time the order is given to you and the time you will be able to implement the order, what will you be doing? What should be your frame of consciousness? What should be your frame of mind? You should constantly think of implementing the order. Once the order is given by the spiritual master, you should constantly think of implementing it. Like even the 4 regulatory principles, right from day one, the spiritual master gave the order, you come in contact with the movement, you are supposed to follow. But if somehow or the other you are unable to follow all because of some situations, while in that situation, you should be constantly thinking of how to follow these instructions. So if you are constantly thinking of how to follow it, the Lord in the heart will eventually respond to you. Because it's actually called Bhava Grahi Janardana. He who responds to the innermost intention of his devotees is one of the names of the Lord. Bhava Grahi Janardana. He who responds to the innermost intention of his devotees. A devotee might be in a kind of situation whereby he cannot implement what he knows. Like for instance, you are living in a family house. A local example, you are living in a family house. And in that house, you burn incense. Everybody will say you are the devil in the house. There are people who are going to churches in that house. There are people who are going to mosque in that house. There are pagans there. As soon as you light your incense and say, hey, this one has joined the cult. This is a very dangerous man. Those who are going to churches will carry your name to go and give to the pastor for him to pray, so that you will stop or you will leave the house. Pastor take it, he call your name, start praying in incantation. Abracadabra, call your name inside. So prayer warriors will be firing you prayer bullets, and Allah Akubaru people will be firing you with Allah Akubaru bullets, and you are the only Hare Krishna in the whole compound of maybe 30, 20 people. How do you survive? Krishna knows that you have a desire to worship him, but in that situation you cannot even wear dhoti. If they see you dressed in dhoti, this is the uniform of the devil that they talked about. The devil has come out in uniform. Everybody, they will label you. They start pouring holy water in front of your door in the night, middle of night, 12 o'clock. They come and pour their water, their concocted water given by their pastors on your door. Till they want to make you comfortable, uncomfortable until you leave. The principle is this principle of a cockroach cannot be innocent in the gathering of fowls. They are all doing all kinds of whimsical things, but all of them will now single you out as the devil in the compound, and they want to frustrate you out of the compound. So if you see situation like, can you put it like? You cannot put it like. Even though you must put it like, you cannot put. You have a chanting bag, but you cannot even bring it out to be chanting. Because they say you want to chant, you want to attract, you are saying incantations to attract all their money. That your chanting bag is a mystic purse, money drawing purse. You use it to draw everybody's money and luck inside. So you cannot wear chanting bag to chant. And if you hold the beads naked like that, hey, that is even worse. So what do you do? How do you practice your devotional service in such a situation? And that's why we say first, you can get this Muslim counter. There's some counter like this. You chant your hand, finish, you press it. It's just like a small electronic counter. You can use that one to chant. And you can count to infinity. Or whenever you lock yourself inside the room, in the room you chant. By the time you come out, you are not holding any beats. You are not showing any sign that you are chanting. You just come out and go. You do all the chanting inside. And if we have to play your music, spiritual music, you have to play them very low so that the next neighbor will not even hear it. So if you are in such a situation, the Lord knows. He will not judge you based on the externals. He will respond to your innermost intention. Your innermost intention is that you want to do these devotional activities, but the external circumstances are not favorable. So the Lord knows more than you know. So he will respond to your innermost intention in such situation. Okay? So the Lord is always like that. It's called Baba Grahi Janandana. He who responds to the innermost intention of his devotees. So like this, that situational intelligence is needed for you to survive in such an environment. So in between the time you are able to boldly identify with Krishna, wearing dhoti, wearing tilak, holding your beads, chanting everywhere. In between that time you take the vow and the time you'll be able to become free, you should constantly be thinking of, when will that day come? When I will be free from this situation where I will rent my house somewhere and I'll be able to do all these things freely. Or I will get my own land. That's the best thing. I will get my own small piece of land and I will build a small house there. And you can move around everywhere, even with tilak on your body, with your dhoti and your japa bead, even without putting inside bag, and nobody will challenge you because that's your compound. So you will be thinking of it. That's the point I'm trying to make. In between when you get instruction and when you're able to implement it, you constantly meditate on how to implement and be begging the Lord, when will that day come when I will be free? You envisage the free situation and when it will manifest. Then it will manifest. The proper God instruction in 1922, but he was able to execute it in 1966. 44 years interval. But all that 44 years, he was constantly brainstorming, thinking of how to implement the order of his spiritual master. Eventually, when the day arrived, he took advantage. So let our focus be that sharp, and things will manifest in due course of time. That is the situation, bravo. Okay. But Isaac, you don't have your student handbook.
Please, I have it.
Okay, read the second to the last on page 48. In this way, the battle ladder shrivels up.
Okay.
Page 48.
Giving up the regulative principles and according to one's whims is compared to a mad elephant, which by force uproots the bhakti ladder and breaks it to pieces. Into peace. In the way the bhakti ladder shrivels up, such an offense is especially treated when one disobeys the instruction of the spiritual master. This is called Guru Avajna. The devotee must therefore be very careful not to commit offenses against the spiritual master by disobeying his instructions. As soon as one is deviated from the instructions of the spiritual master, the uprooting of the bhakti ladder begins, and gradually all the leaves dry up. The order of the spiritual master is the life substance of the disciple. After being initiated and receiving the orders of the spiritual master, the disciple should un- unhesitatingly think about the instructions or orders of the spiritual master and should not allow himself to be disturbed by anything else. This is also the verdict of Srila Vishvanatha Kavravati Chakravarti Nandana. No, Chakravarti Thakura, who's while explaining a verse of Bhagavad Gita via Okay, I continue. Bhagavad Gita as it is, 2 verse 41. Point out that the order of the spiritual master is the life substance of the disciple. The disciple shouldn't consider whether he is going back home, back to Godhead. His first business should be execute the order of the spiritual master. Thus, a disciple should always meditate on the order of the spiritual master. And that is professional meditation. Not only should he meditate upon the other, but he should find out the means by which he can perfectly worship and execute it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the first one is that giving up the regulative principles and living according to one's whims is compared to a mad elephant offense. Okay? When you take initiation, especially, you should not give up the regulative principles. You should follow them at all costs. Because giving them up is compared to be a mad elephant offense. But when a mad elephant enters your garden, everything will be devastated. So the offense of disobeying the order of the spiritual master is compared to a mad elephant. And he said, if it enters your garden of devotional service, immediately your devotional creeper plant will start to shrivel. So one should not at any time disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Rather, you should constantly think of how to implement his orders. That the order of the spiritual master is the life substance of a disciple. That if the Guru gives an order, and just as we were explaining, if the external environmental forces are not favorable for you to immediately implement the order, you should constantly be thinking of how to implement the orders. Though the external circumstances are not favorable, you should be constantly meditating on how to implement the order, and you should devise means to implement it. And the local example is what I give. If you are in a compound saturated with antagonists, you should be constantly thinking of how to get out of it so that you will be in a place where you can freely practice your devotional service. I mean, if you need to get a land, have a plot of land and build your something on top of it, start meditating on it. One day, the Lord will facilitate you, will fulfill that desire, and you will move out of that environment. It took Srila Prabhupada 44 years to implement the orders of his spiritual master. But in between those years, he was constantly meditating and devising means of how to implement it. So eventually, he was able to implement it. So this is the point we are making. So if the external circumstances are not favorable, don't give up. Constantly think of how to implement the order. And one day, all forces will be favorable and you will be able to implement it by his grace, by the grace of the spiritual master. So under no circumstance should we disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Now, additional quotes. This is the last page, and I will read one now. Disciple, which is related to the word discipline. To accept a spiritual master means to voluntarily agree to abide by the rules and regulations given by a great personality. This is what being a disciple means, to voluntarily agree. That means to accept the discipline. Yes, sir. Whatever you say, I accept. The Sanskrit word sisya means one who abides by the rules. And in English, there is the word disciple, which is related to the word discipline. So a disciple becomes disciplined by the spiritual master. Even at the inconvenience of my personal comforts, I must abide by the orders of my spiritual master. This is what is called tapo diviam. Tapo diviam putraka yena satwa. Even if this thing inconveniences me, provided it is the order of the spiritual master, I will carry it out. And if you are determined like that, you'll be experiencing miracles. Because the spiritual master's order is accompanied by all kinds of energy. So if you are determined to implement, only if you are determined to implement the order of the spiritual master, you see the kind of sequences that will unfold in your front. And you just walk into it. So that is it. Very, very important. A devotee is he who is disciplined by the order of the spiritual master. A disciple becomes disciplined by the orders of the spiritual master. So to become a disciple means to be ready to receive orders from the spiritual master. And if you diligently try to implement it, then miracles await you. Take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and to serve him with heart and soul. For spiritual advancement or for spiritual achievement, the easiest path is to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and to serve him with heart and soul. That is the secret of success. As stated by Viswanatha Chakravarti Thakur in the 8th stanza of prayers to the spiritual master, Yasya Prasada Bhagava Prasada. By serving or receiving the grace of the spiritual master, one receives the grace of the Supreme Personality of God or the Supreme Lord. By serving the devotee husband, Kadamamuni, devotee shared in his achievements. Similarly, a sincere disciple, simply by serving a bona fide spiritual master, can achieve all the mercy of the Lord and the spiritual master simultaneously. The spiritual master never deviates from the endeavor to please the Supreme Lord. So even if you do not know the Supreme Lord and you know the spiritual master and you are able to please your spiritual master, automatically you share in the opulences of the Lord. As the opulences come to the spiritual master, so shall he reach you. Say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. That is the mystic. Because the guru is like this with Krishna. So if you please the guru, automatically the spiritual master is pleased with you. So it becomes double mercy. The mercy of the guru plus the mercy of the spiritual master. Your spiritual life is nourished. Success is guaranteed. Okay. That's why it is said that those who have implicit faith in both the guru and Krishna, all the imports of the Vedas are automatically revealed to him. Okay, stick to the principle of following the words of the spiritual master. If a disciple is very serious to execute the mission of the spiritual master, he immediately associates with the Supreme Personality of Godhead by vanity of vapor. This is the only secret of success in seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Instead of being eager to see the Lord in some bush of Vrindavan, while at the same time engaging in sense gratification, if one instead sticks to the principle of following the words of the spiritual master, he will see the Supreme Lord without difficulty. So the spiritual master can reveal Krishna to you if you follow his instructions. So just follow the instructions of the spiritual master. Some questions? Any question? Okay, I will read the remaining ones. When you are helping my missionary activities, that is real association. You write that you have desired to avail of my association again. But why do you forget that you are always in association with me? When you are helping my missionary activities, I am always thinking of you, and you are always thinking of me. That is real association. So, as we said before in the regulatory principles parts, that compassion means to give Krishna to people. To tell people about Krishna is real compassion. That anyone who fails to preach about Krishna to others is actually committing violence. So, positive way of preaching, practicing compassion or mercy is to constantly preach about Krishna to others. So it is very simple. When you endeavor to preach and give Krishna to others, you are practicing compassion in action. And everything desirable will be yours in due course of time. So those who are carrying out the order of the spiritual master, they never feel separation from him. They always feel the presence of the spiritual master. And by the same token, those who are constantly carrying out the order of the Lord, they never feel separated from the Lord. The Lord is always with them, and they are always with the Lord. Reciprocal. Very beautiful. So engage yourself in always thinking of the Lord, planning how to give the Lord to others, telling others about the Lord. Automatically, you are situated in the compassion potency of the Lord. And one who is thus situated is never lost to the Lord, and the Lord is never lost to him. He is never lost to the spiritual master, and also the spiritual master is never lost to him. So constantly endeavor to give Krishna to others. That is compassion in action, or mercy in action, positive way of practicing non-violence. Dr. Palita, read the last, read the last one.
Okay, Prabhu.
I am with you.
I am with you as my Guru Maharaj Maharaja is with you. Is that right, Prabhu?
Yes, Maharaja. That's right.
Maharaja. Okay. Thank you. The spiritual master is present wherever his sincere disciples is trying to serve his instructions. This is possible by the mercy of Krishna. In your attempts to serve me and in all your sincere devotional sentiments, I'm with you as my Guru Maharaja is with me. Remember this always. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the spiritual master is always with the disciple who is constantly carrying out his instructions. If you get a spiritual master now and you are following the 4 regulatory principles, you are chanting 16 rounds, and you are following some other specific instruction, the spiritual master is always with you, and you are always with the spiritual master. So you get his proper alignment. Therefore, you get the protection of the spiritual master always. And if you are getting the protection of the spiritual master is not alone. You are getting the protection of the entire parampara. You are getting the protection of the 12 Mahajas. You are getting the protection of the Supreme Personality of God. So take it very seriously. If you get a spiritual master, don't disobey his instructions. Follow the instructions of the spiritual master to the letter. Endeavor to do that. Why? Because if the spiritual master is pleased with you, all the paramparam, the entire paramparam is pleased with you. That means the Prabhupada is pleased with you. The Prabhupada's guru is pleased with you. The Prabhupada's guru's guru is pleased with you. Up to Krishna. Lord Brahma is pleased with you. Sukadev Goswami is pleased with you. Prahlad Maharaj is. All the Mahajans are pleased with you. And if that happens, your life is successful. So the process of getting initiation brings you in direct contact with that which will make your life successful, both materially and spiritual. If you take proper advantage of it, you will testify, you become a living testimony. Okay, so are there some questions or commentaries on these points?
Krishna Prabhu.
Arimo.
I just want to ask, if a guru gives an order, it cannot be disobeyed, but it can be delayed.
Yes.
So when it's delayed, I hope there's nothing against that. Maybe the preparation is not yet ready for you to fulfill that maybe task that the guru has given you.
Yeah.
So there's no offense against that, but there will be an offense when you decide not to do it.
Yes.
But if you keep it in mind that you do it, but you are still finding
Yes.
a way to execute that task that the guru has given you, there's no offense
Yes.
against you.
Yes, there's no offense.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes. In due course of time, there will be intervention. External circumstances and environmental forces will become favorable in due course of time. There will be divine intervention. That your steady determination will attract divine intervention. We told you the story of the sparrow before.
No, I haven't heard of that.
Oh, the story of the sparrow, we told it on this platform. That there was a little sparrow that once laid his egg on the shore of the ocean. And the ocean, when there was a tide, when the water overflew, it carried the eggs, all the eggs of the swallow. Swallow is a little bird, or sparrow is a very little bird, tiny bird.
Yeah.
But tiny as it is and tiny as the eggs are, they are as important to him as your child in the womb. So it is a source of grief for the swallow. So the sparrow. So the sparrow ordered the ocean to return its eggs. Return the eggs. Return my eggs. Ocean, please return my eggs. Ocean did not mind sparrow. Sparrow said, look, my eggs are my children. And just as your children are important to you, my eggs are equally important to me. Return my eggs. The ocean did not mind the sparrow. Though the sparrow said, in fact, the ocean even said, so if I don't return it, what will you do? If I don't return your eggs, what will you do? What can you do? So the sparrow said, if you don't return my eggs, I will dry you up. Small birds want to dry a mighty ocean. So immediately the ocean ignored the sparrow, and sparrow started his business of drying the ocean. He will pick little in his tiny beak and fly into the desert for hours, drop it and come back to pick another one. He started his business. He did not just think of it and leave. He went into action. He picked little, fly far for hours, go and drop it and come back again. Then the news went around the whole universe. The news went around the universe that look at this funny creature. Tiny sparrow want to dry the ocean. Look at this funny. Immediately the news went until he got to Garuda. Garuda is the king of the birds. And Garuda has the potency to dry the ocean. So when the news got to Garuda, Garuda came around and observed what was going on. And it was true. Garuda saw that it was true. Little sparrow was trying to dry the ocean. Then he took compassion on the sparrow. Then Garuda himself went to the ocean and said, Ocean, my name is Garuda. I'm the king of the birds. This sparrow is my junior brother. Return the eggs of the sparrow. Otherwise, I myself will dry you up. Return the eggs of the sparrow. Otherwise, I, Garuda, the king of the birds, myself will dry you up. Immediately, the ocean started to tremble. Immediately returned the egg of the sparrow. And the sparrow got his eggs back. You see? So that is it. In spiritual life, we have to be determined to implement the orders of the spiritual master. That strong determination is going to attract divine intervention. If you are determined to implement the instructions of the spiritual master, follow the regulatory principles, that will attract divine intervention in our lives. We are not alone. We are not alone. All the demigods are with you if you are a devotee. All the Mahajans are with you. The entire parampara is with you. So if we are in a proper attitude, proper mindset, automatically you attract their attention and they will cast their favorable glance on you, and your life becomes incomprehensible to ordinary men. This is how it is. That's why Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur, when we read it, said that Vyavasayat Mika Buddhi Ekeha Kuru Nandana. That is Bhagavad Gita 241 or so. Vyavasayat Mika Buddhi Ekeha Kuru Nandana. That the intelligence of a devotee is resolute. That one who is resolute in his intelligence, he has fixed determination. His aim is one. What is that oneness of aim? That oneness of aim is the desire to carry out the instructions of the spiritual master. His aim is one. His determination is resolute. And that aim is to carry out the instructions of the spiritual master. And that was the properties that Prabhupada went with. The strong determination to carry out the instructions of his spiritual master. He went to the West with that and he succeeded. Why? Because when your determination is strong in the right direction, there will be divine intervention. Just as how the sparrow was able to recover his eggs by that strong determination. So if we are strongly determined to implement the orders of the spiritual masters, all the forces are bent towards it. That is a principle of success. One principle of success is that you should sharpen your focus. Know exactly what you want. If you know exactly what you want, then when the focus is sharp, all other forces are bent towards that focus. You know the principle of light, the mirror formula. You know the mirror formula. Back in it, you know the mirror formula. Eh? You didn't do physics, eh?
No problem.
You don't know the mirror formula.
No.
But you know a lens. A lens. Yeah.
Yes, I know that.
When you hold a lens like this, you see that all the rays, the incidence of on the lens, especially if it is a concave lens. Yeah. Okay. If it's a concave lens, all the rays that focus on the surface of the lens will be redirected to focus on a particular point. And that focal point, it is halfway between the radius of curvature. So that focal point, all the rays are focused there, very sharp. If you direct it on your body, it can burn your body. It is very hot because it's sharp. You can see all the beams of light that convert to that is the converging point for all of them. After incidenting on the rays, because light travels in a straight line, when it hits the lens, it will now reflect it to a particular point. And when all the rays come together at that particular point, it becomes very sharp. That is the focal point. In a concave lens, it is in front of the lens. But in a convex lens, it's at the back. The focal point is at the back. So when if your goal is sharp and you know exactly what you want to do, then all the forces will be bent towards that focal point. And you will see that everything start falling in place. The universe will just respond. You achieve what you want. It's a mystical formula. When your focal point is sharp, all other forces are bent towards that focal point. So you learn something from the sparrow? Okay. Sharpen your determination, there will be divine intervention. And in this case, the guru will intervene because you are properly aligned. You are aligned with the desires of the super soul. You are aligned with the desires of the Lord. If you are thus aligned, Prabhu, you will get the blessings of the spiritual master. You will get the blessings of the entire parampara. You will get the blessings of all the demigods. You will get the blessings of all the 12 Mahajans. You will get the blessings of Krishna. By being in proper alignment. Proper alignment means you try to do what the Lord wants you to do. Follow the regulative principles, chant Maha Mantra, do favorable devotional service. You are aligning yourself. The process of spiritual life is to align ourselves, to align our desires with the desires of the Lord. And there will be divine intervention. This is the formula. Individually, you can apply this formula. And that is why those who apply it, they succeed more than those who don't apply it. It is individual. Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Yes. Today is a very turbulent day where the forces of distractions, all the forces of distractions are in action. And even those who have determined.
Please forgive us for our inconveniences.
You have no offense. At least you try to be here. You registered your determination. That's why you are here to the end. To the degree your determination is sharp, to that degree you are here. So you have been here even when you are walking on the street, you try to be there. back in this okay, even while working, looking inside files, going to do medications, she try to be there. But in Felicia, after a combat with the network, she still managed to conquer and she's there. So many forces of distractions, yet you remain to be. This is the spiritual life doesn't mean everything will be so easy. There will be no confrontation. Spiritual life means distractions are there, but your focus is so strong that you are not affected. Despite all that, you will still achieve. That means your determination is enough to attract divine intervention. That is how you can succeed in spiritual, because you are going against all the forces. You are trying to do a spiritual thing in a material environment. So, material forces will try to oppose you. They are subtle, I don't know. You will not know until when you want to start something that will benefit you. That's when you will know that there are forces of distraction. They are oppressing people down, bewilder people completely. People don't even know what they are doing. But when you want to do something that is beneficial to you, at that time, you see these forces in action. They want to distract you. Just carry your feet and say, okay, I want to chant 16 rounds today before I do anything. You will see the kind of things that will come into your mind while you are chanting. You carry the beat that you are determined, I'm not going to go anywhere. I will finish this my 16 rounds before I will leave here. You will see distractions. That is the time. All the things you're supposed to do, all the plans you're supposed to have, they'll be coming into your mind. They're like, look at me now. You thought of doing this before. Why? This is the best time to do it. Every time, everything becomes that is the best time. Because you are determined to want to chant your ranks. You will just ignore all of it and continue to chant. So, security is not the absence of distraction. It is by being focused, being presence of God. So we appreciate you. The Goswamis are called Goswamis because the senses are trying to distract them by all means, yet they refuse to be distracted. That's why they are called Goswamis. They are masters of the senses. But those who run around trying to fulfill the demands, the urges of the senses, they are called Buddhas, servants of the senses. The senses are their masters. But these Goswamis are the masters of their senses. So they become worshipable. Okay, thank you very much. See you next week on Monday. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, Prabhu, Bhakti was carrying me.
Thank you so much.
Bhakti was carrying me. The time that she took that thing, I was scared though. I thought she was coming to give me that.
You see,
That
is what you've been
I
doing.
was very scared.
You've been cooking people with some needle, trying to help them.
I want them to be well. I want them to be well.
Please come again.
We have to choke them first. Now, spiritually, we want you people to be well, so we are choking you people and you are all running. Small time, you want to run. The other energy want to distract you people. But we thank you that you are going to the end. You know, Dr. Paul was distracted today now. He was nowhere to be found.
Yes.
The Nigerian Paul, nowhere to be found. There are two Pauls on this platform. Nowhere to be found. I think the Nigerian one came briefly and left.
Yes.
It's from
yes.
Warri, so his network is always bad. But attack him. You see the forces of distraction when she on her video. She's highly distracted, like this. Everything is just trying to take her away. Finally, even in the presence of our God brothers and sisters, the thing took her away. So we are not surprised. To practice spiritual life in the material environment is a battle. You need the mercy of the spiritual master and the mercy of the vice nervous before you can succeed. So thank you very much. Keep on the good work. But please encourage your brothers. Sometimes you can call them up also on your own. As long as
Okay.
we are in the same group, they are in your session. You need their energy. That's why the universe arranged for us. So call them. It's class time. Oh. Please, let's go for class. Because if you are in class, it encourages me. So call the other students. Those who are in
Okay, sir.
Ghana, Dr. Paul and Dr. Felicia, call them. The other members of
Okay,
this class,
sir.
call that you are absent in class today. Why? Then Dr.
Okay.
Nisoka will call you in Nigeria and say, we didn't see you in class. What happened? What happened now? We are very few already, and you absent yourself from class. You make the things scanty. Come to class so that we can, unless you say you are not learning anything from what we are teaching here. I believe there is a lot of
Mm,
nectar that is,
Yes,
so how
so
can you
I've
how
learned
can you
a
see
lot.
nectar? You leave the nectar, you go and drink poison. Poison you say better. Why? How could that be? Eh? You lost your taste so much that you allow other things to distract you from this transcendental nectar. Okay, oh, Kali Yuga Avatara. Kali Yuga is getting so strong that even those who want to practice the spiritual life, they are under constant bombardment. Okay, thank you. See you. ISKCON final
Thank you, Sir
chancellor.
Prabhu.
Yeah.
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 Please come on time. Come on time in our next classes so that we can start and finish on time. Hare Krishna. You put nearly demoralized me today. See,
Sorry.
I see so much that even the teachers are under attack.